All right, guys. Today we have an amazing magician, fellow Fool Us winner, but this guy's outdone me because he has a couple of these trophies, and makes me jealous. But president of SAM, past president of SAM, Society of American Magicians. He has his own show in Las Vegas now. This is a new thing, and guys, help me welcome Vinny Grosso. Vinny, what's up, man?
How you doing, Wes?
Man, that was all over the place, but I just want to get into this. I'm so excited. I'm so happy for you to have your dream come true, your own show in Vegas. Dude, are you on cloud nine?
It's pretty crazy. It's great. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm enjoying it.
Awesome.
So I'm from a very small town, 2 hours north of New York City, right on the Hudson River. It's called Coxsackie, New York. I would say like my closest neighbor growing up was Bambi, but I've been now my closest neighbor is Bambi in Las Vegas.
Right, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Wow.
So so I've been here in Vegas. It'll be 7 years this summer. It'll be 7 years. So
Wow.
I love it out here. Yeah.
Well, it never ends out there, that's for sure. There's always something to do, and there's so many magic friends to hang out with, and you can always try out new stuff.
That's exactly it. I mean, I say, like, I do not gamble. I do not drink. I've never been to a club. I just don't do any of the, like, vices of Las Vegas. But I absolutely love it here, and it's because of the people in this community, and also there's a lot to Las Vegas that people don't really see, from Red Rock Canyon and Valley of Fire and Mount Charleston and all these kind of outdoorsy things that people just don't do.
Yeah, I guarantee it. Because when you're on the Strip, I mean, every time we go there, we're just looking at hotels, and it's the weirdest vacation. You're just touristy, just walking through different hotels, because we're not big gamblers, and we have kids with us, so it's not like we can sit at the slot machine for 6 hours. Wow.
Right.
Wow. So, who do you hang out with in Vegas? Anybody we know besides Matt King? Who do you jam with? Who do you practice with? Who do you pitch stuff off of?
There's a a group of, I would say, like, with you mentioned when we were talking before the podcast about the Don't Everybody Leave podcast show that Matt, or online talk show that Matt does, and that group of guys, Michael Goudeau, Jacob Jacks, Jason England, and Nick DeFott, we hang out an awful lot in Vegas. And then I have, with my show, Stacy Jones, who people in that know magic would know Stacy Jones from two different areas. One, she was part of the duo The Majestics, and also she grew up in a magic family of Chuck Jones. So she's actually helps out a lot with my show, and she's just a very dear friend of mine. So there's that group with, and like with Stacy Jones, it's also Stan Allen and his wife, and actually his kids I'm all friends with. And oh man, my really good friend out here, Nick Lang, who's from New York, and a younger guy, but he's just a brilliant mind in magic. Very brilliant mind.
Wow.
So there's just all sorts of layers. I mean, I could spend the whole hour, Wes, with you just listing friends that are really good friends that are here in Vegas, and just incredibly talented and wonderful people. It's a lovely situation.
Well, see, I'm envious because I'm out here in Virginia, and I'm living with Bambi. I have, I have to drive.
The one that has spots on her back, right?
Right. Yes, spots on her back. But I mean, it's 45 minutes to the nearest magician friend of mine to hang out with, and then at least another 45 minutes to find another one.
Well, so I'll just tell you. I mean, this was my night last night. Literally last night. I was busy doing stuff, and we're like, we still wanted to get together and go over a couple things in the show that I'm trying to change up on my show. So Stacy came over to my house, and across the street from me is Nick Lang, and he had a magician friend visiting him from New Orleans. They came over, and also across the street from me is Banachek. So he
Wow.
came over, and so we're just hanging out, and next door to me is Bill Smith as well.
Whoa.
So that just happens out of the blue. Like, oh yeah, no, we're just going over something. Just come on over and we'll discuss this stuff, and that's how it happens. And then a few people from out of town also stopped in, and I mean it's crazy. It's crazy.
That sounds so intense. That'd be like the best Magic convention around this area. Just what happened in your backyard last night.
Yeah, it's almost. I gotta say, like with the pandemic, I mean, this is great. Everybody that I mentioned there, we've all been vaccinated, so it's fine to come and hang out in my backyard. But during the more challenging times of the pandemic, part of it felt good in a way that it was like I got a break, because it seems like tonight I'm headed, after this podcast, I'm headed over to the venue to do some rehearsing, and then from there I'm gonna go over to the Rio and watch a rehearsal. Penn and Teller open in a couple days, or tomorrow they open. I'm sorry, and tonight is their rehearsal before that. So it just seems like and then the night after that I'm hanging out with other folks. It seems like it's.
You're living the life, dude.
Don't get me wrong. This is not a complaint.
No, you're living the life, man.
A lot of stuff going on every single night. Yeah.
Dude, I'm not a jealous person, but when I hear my friends in Vegas mention all these names and doing all this stuff every night, we have a brand new set of twins. They're 6 months old. You're going to be hanging out with Penn and Teller tonight, watching their show. I'll be changing dirty diapers and wiping up messes. it's a totally different thing, man.
Yeah, we're definitely not hanging out. I'm just going to see the show. I mean, I will say, all the shows and people, Penn and Teller have been unbelievably responsible about handling the situation. So I'm really looking forward to seeing their show and seeing how they are dealing with the situation. I know I worked really hard, and part of it, because I've worked really, really hard to put together a show that there are 0 volunteers, and the magic happens in their seats and stuff like that, so we can remain socially distant and all of that. And part of that is I purchased your coin flip routine. And I use that in my show, every single show, and it's fantastic.
I love it.
Way, I adapted it for what I needed it to be, which is, I'm sure, what you want anybody that does do the routine, not to just do it the way you do it and come up with their own kind of twist on it, but your technique and your method, I've incorporated into the show, and it's great. It's wonderful. But I am really looking forward to seeing how Penn and Teller address this situation and do the show. I've seen a couple other magicians. I saw Copperfield a couple nights ago. I saw Pitt a couple nights ago as well. And they all have their own kind of approaches to how to handle shows during this situation. But as my show stands right now, no one leaves their seat. I mean, that they stand up because they have to, for the heads and tails piece, and for a couple other things throughout the show, I'll have them stand up, but they don't leave their seating area.
It's so funny that this trick is just, it's so perfect for this time. It's so weird.
It is.
It's wow. Well, dude, I want to video this. This means the world to me. You gotta. I don't care if it's a cell phone in the back of the room or something. I want to see.
Oh yeah. No, I record all my shows, but I had a videographer come in to record a show on Sunday, and of course, the footage is pretty much mostly useless to me, because I had this one group of people in, and this one lady was highly intoxicated, and
Vegas.
It was, every other word I was basically dealing with her, and we had fun, and the show was fine, but it's just not footage that I would send to someone or use in a promo reel, kind of thing. It was just like one of those shows that, you deal with to make it fun and comfortable for everybody that's there, but it isn't anything that you advertise. But I'll definitely send you a clip of how I do it, because the payoff, so the big difference, the way I do it, there's a setup for it, and I don't have a payoff until 2 tricks later for the heads or tails thing. So it doesn't feel like I'm doing, there's no like, I'm going to study you because you're trying to pull one over with me.
Right.
It happens very organic and very natural and innocent. And then the payoff later for it, it's like, holy cow. And there's zero suspicion as to any shenanigans going on.
So you're just delaying it in a series of predictions. That's how you got that person up or whatever, and then you're revealing in a series of other revelations later?
Yeah.
That's nice.
I mean, if you want, I can describe it real quick. I can try.
Yeah,
to describe
sure.
Quick. But I do this very early on, and I talk. The name of my show is Totally Mental, and I describe it best as it's an FU to mentalism, to use Penn and Teller's term. In that, I basically want people to know that I don't have any mental powers. That this is, even though this is like a different genre, it's still me lying to the audience and doing essentially tricks. So I mentioned that I do this one bit, and then I say, oh, well, one of the problems with mentalism is that the person that I called on, no one ever really believes that was truly random. That it could have been, I could have prearranged it. I could have, all this. So I have a way that we can get someone at, completely random, and then I, take out the coin, and I have a camera so they can see the coin and doing the flip and all that. And I'll share with you later that there's kind of a variation to the technique.
Okay.
When you're using an iMac camera, that I'm happy to share with you if you want to include it with people that purchase your routine. So I get the person at random, and then I say that, okay, you're going to be my volunteer, but I need to let you know, first of all, not everything that I do is a trick. Some things that I do are a skill, and I go through this whole comedy bit. And then I say I think the audience has a skill, and then I just do this thing about 6 feet apart, but I then want them to tell me what 8 feet apart is, and I move mic stands up at a distance until they say stop, and then I measure it, and it's a little more than 8 feet. And I say, well, that was a skill. I thought that was pretty good that they did. And I was like, but here's a prediction, and I take an envelope that was hanging the whole time, and it says the exact distance that they said the mic stands were, and then it gets an applause, and I kind of downplay it. I was like, okay, I know it's not that amazing. I told you to do it 8 feet, so it's it could have been a lot. There weren't a lot of. It was a very narrow window of what I had to guess. But here's something more specific, and then I turn the card over, and it describes the person. So the nice thing about seating people is I know people's names and everything else. So I have the person's name, and I said, wearing this and that will be off by 4 inches, whatever that person was off, and so it's a really strong payoff. Well after the fact, and they're not even, there's no heat on you at all during the routine. It's just a fun game, as I believe you intended it to be.
Wow, that's so cool. Well, Penn and Teller said they're doing it too, but Teller's taking photographs of the audience. Did I tell you this already?
No.
He's going to run around taking photographs of the audience on Polaroids and making a big deal about it and playing with the audience. And then he's going to put the Polaroids on a wall behind him facing the wrong way. And then they play the game, have somebody come up and pick a Polaroid, don't look at it, and they play the game, and it matches the Polaroid they're holding in their hand.
Oh, wow.
So that's how they're doing it.
Oh, that's really cool.
So, yeah. But if
great.
they do that in rehearsals tonight, please call me, email me, text me, let me know. Because I think it'd be so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, because it could be on the back burner and something they want to bring out 5 years from now. I don't know, but
Oh yeah.
having one Vegas headliner do my trick, I'm already over the moon. Having two, crazy, crazy.